What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I'm so excited because I finally have my MPC Live Mark III. So shout out to AKAI sending it back, and I'll talk a little bit about what happened with my Live III. As I make a beat, this is the first beat I make on the Live III since, I don't know, when it was probably like a little over a month ago that I had to send it back. Well, before we jump into it, I do want to remind everybody that if you are in need of any audio equipment, make sure to use some of my links to Zounds. It does support my channel, and also Zounds is the best place to shop at when it comes down to any audio related equipment. I'll leave a link down in the description of this video. All right, so I actually went ahead and connected my Key 37 to the MPC Live III. I had a lot of people asking, how did I do that on the previously when I did that? The way I did it is I just have a USB cable coming out of the MPC keys, and on the MPC keys, I just have a blank session turned on, and I created a MIDI track on the MPC keys, and on that MIDI track, where it shows all the display and information of that track, I go to the MIDI out port and I have it set to MIDI USB port 1. Once I have that set up, over here on my MPC Live III, I create a brand new track. I'm going to create a plug-in instrument track, and once I have that created, I'm able to trigger some of the sounds from that keys, so I can use that. But we'll get into that. I'm going to create a brand new blank track, just a drum track, so we can sample into the MPC. And then I'm going to create another track for actual drums. And let's actually start with some drums. Now that I have the Live III back, I want to mess with the warping because I do miss it. Now that I have not had the Live III, I've been using the Live II. And the Live II is awesome, guys. I was talking about this on my Instagram. I love the Live II. Going back to it, it was fun, straight to the point, but there's a lot going on right here on the Live III, and I'm just excited to explore it some more and just get more familiar with it. So let's create some drums right here. I'm actually gonna go to my browser, and on drums, I'm gonna go into, let's go into some Marco Polo right here. Ooh. Yeah, let's actually do this right here. I'm going to create a brand new clip, make this just one bar, and I'm going to add some kicks right here and a pre-kick right there. Let's put some snares right here. But with this pre-kick, I'm actually going to lower down the velocity, and let's nudge this over so it gives it a little bit of a swing. Let's hear how this sounds. Ooh, there you go. And let's set the tempo at 100. I'm going to go to 100 beats per minute because I just want to get out of my comfort zone. I always talk about, when I make beats, I'm always like at 80 beats per minute. I'm like at 90 or 90 beats per minute is a little high for me, but I'm usually like at 80 and 70s beats per minute. But right now, I want to stick to 100, see what we come up with. And let's go ahead and open up, or actually, we already have a new track. I'm going to sample into this track, and we already have drums. So let's see what we come up with. All right. So I actually had to sample this one just to the sample memory of the MPC because I'm not even sure. I couldn't keep up. I usually do the sample straight into the pads, as I'm sampling, just boom, boom, boom. But I'm a little lost right now. I don't even know the time signature of this sample. So I just gonna put it GTR for guitars, hit do it, and we'll go into the sampler and we'll try to figure it out right here. Right there. Yeah, so look, not every record, maybe you're listening to this and you know exactly like, yeah, I know the measures of that tune. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out right now. I don't know if it's a 3 or at 4. I'm actually not sure. So not every song that I sample, I know it directly right away. That's why it's cool to have the option to either sample just directly into your sampler with sample mode or pad tap. I only use pad tap when I know exactly how I'm going to sample and chop up those samples. Right now, I don't know. I just know it sounds cool, but I don't know how I'm going to chop this up. Am I going to do quarter notes? Am I going to just do every bar? Am I going to do... I have no idea. So that's why, since I don't know yet, I just sampled it directly into the MPC. And right now, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to chop this up. So let's go ahead and figure this out together. I know this is the downbeat right here. Doom, 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 doom. Like, you know, like... You guys hear me, I'm kind of humming out loud because I'm trying to figure out, like, should I chop it like doom, doom, doom? Or I can chop it, oh, wait, doom, doom, doom. I don't like that. That kind of does not give me flexibility to change. If I did the beginning of every bar, I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do that. But the problem, and the reason why I'm not going to do that, is because it's not going to allow me to change stuff up if I want to. I already like how it sounds. I might just keep it like this, but if I want to, like, just hit random pads every now and then, like, it's going to keep me a little too locked into every down beat. So I rather just chop it up microly, or micro chop this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd rather do that because the more chops I put in it, the more flexibility I'm going to have to play with this if I choose to do that. I don't know if I'm going to want to do a bunch of weird chops and performances. I don't know, but I'd rather have that already laid out and know that I can go that direction if I want to. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to go from trim to chop, and I'm going to be on manual chop mode because I don't know how many slices I'm going to continue this. Like, I don't know how far I sampled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! All right. So you guys probably heard me, and I think a lot of these chops are a little jacked up. I'm going to just try to perfect these chops a little bit more because I wasn't perfectly on the beat. If you're going to go back and readjust the start point of your chops, it's a really cool trick. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people do know this. If you hold down shift right here, being on the sample page, you can hit 0 snap. When you select 0 snap, any adjustment of the start point of the current slice that you're adjusting, it will automatically put it at the 0 line so there's no clicks or pops. So it's just a cleaner slice. I'm going to go. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and convert this, hit do it. And now we'll go into the track that is at. All right, I don't know if I'm too happy with the slices, the way I chopped them, but I don't know what tempo this is at. This is actually pretty fast. I had my sequence at 100 beats per minute. But I'm sure that this sample, the original tempo, it's way faster than 100 beats per minute. I don't know. We're going to tap it out. I'm going to use tap tempo. 1, 2. It's at about 120 beats per minute. I'm going to jump into the sample edit or the track editor. I'm going to go into the samples page, and I'm going to warp this entire program. So I'm going to go to the little teardrop. I'm going to select all. So when I hit warp, it's going to warp everything in this program. So I hit warp. Now everything warped. And it automatically detected that the tempo of those slices, it's at 124 beats per minute. That's pretty close. I'm thinking it's at 120 beats per minute. But the MPC thinks that these original chops are at 120. It's not always going to be perfect. You don't want to rely on this because then it's going to sound very glitchy and weird. So let me hear how that sounds. That's not bad. Actually, that's not bad. It might be at 124 beats per minute. Let me go to 120. Yeah, it's not bad. It will sound bad because you'll hear some like weird stretching happening, and then you'll know like, oh, okay, that's way off. So you need to know the original tempo of the sample that you're bringing in before you pitch it up or down. Now that I have that locked in and I have it on its original tempo, I'm gonna go to this algorithm and I'm gonna go to super, which actually I think is by default, it's already at super on the Live 3. Cool. So now I can go back down to 100 beats per minute, and it's technically time stretching that chop, that sample. So there is actually no pitching up or down. It's going to maintain the integrity of the original key that it was sampled in. I usually pitch up or down. That's what I go to all the time previously, because I never liked warping. I always felt warping was just, it sounded very bad. But now I could go into warping, and look, we're gonna warp 20 beats per minute lower, and let's hear how it sounds. Ooh, that's usable. Yo, like, that is so cool. I would never be able to get away with that previously at 5 beats per minute with warping, and it was like, all right, it's unusable. This is 20 beats per minute lower. And aside from my very cheesy chops, like there's actually some very bad chopping that I did, this sounds great. There's no artifacting that stands out to me as like, hey, I can't use this. I could definitely use this. So I'm going to lay down something right here. I'm going to put a performance. I'm going to put this at a turn off fixed length. I'm going to record this performance into a clip, and let's go ahead and lay that down. There you go. I heard like a little gap, like, you know, you guys hear it? Right here. Before the third going into the fourth, there's like a little gap, a glitch. That is due to my bad timing when it came down to how I set the start point of that sample. Hear it. It kind of like stops, right? So I can still adjust that, and I'm going to adjust it because I know where the problem's at. I'm going to jump into the editor, the track edit, and right here being on the samples tab, I'm gonna zoom in on this slice 3. If I just have this Q link on the first one and I adjust any of these, it's gonna take me to where that slice is at. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. So it's stopping too soon. So I'm gonna bring it back just a few samples, and now let's hear how this sounds. Perfect. There's no gaps in between now. There you go. I'm listening for another gap. Here's the next one where there's like a, it's not good with timing. So I'm going to back this off a little bit. And now let's hear that. A little bit better. It can be better though. Yeah. There you go. There's another one. There you go. That's awesome. We have a pretty cool sequence right here. Drums, sample, the chops are cool, but I have so many other banks over here. I'm gonna create a new clip, and on this new clip, I don't wanna go do. Like, I'm gonna just keep it right here. There you go. Let's create a brand new track. Or actually, we already had the track, the keys over here. We just have to find what key this sample's at. Now, the reason why I didn't want to pitch this up or down is because I wanted to bring in some keys. Not saying that if you pitch it up or down, you can't use the keys, but it's a little harder and you got to be very musically trained by ear, because when you pitch up or down using the edit, when you're in the track edit and you want to go up or down a few semitones, it will interrupt the original key. So sometimes you could be off by not even a full step or a half step, and it gets very deep into the musical terminology of like, are you in key with just any type of plug-in instrument? So it gets a little complicated. It gets hard for me, because then I'm like, dang, I can't find the key of this. So then I have to go back to the sample and I have to adjust the semitones until you just have to be very well trained if you're dealing with those types of pitch and semitone fluctuations. So if you don't want to deal with all that and you just want to plug in a keyboard and start tapping out some keys, this warping is awesome, because now I could just, let me see, just call up anything right here. Maybe we could get like a bass noise right here from Noct. Look, this sub cello. But I first have to find the key, so I'm going to pitch this up. Okay. All right. I gotta hurry the hell up because I just came up with a cool melody right here and I will forget. So let's go ahead and record that. Right there. Yeah, that's so dope. That is so cool. All right, let's do another plug-in instrument, and let's look for other sounds. That is so cool. I hope that recorded. Yeah, that did. Man, I haven't had this much fun in a long time while making. I mean, I have a great time whenever I make beats. But I'm listening to it right now, and let me know if this has happened to you, that you're making a beat and you're just like, man, this is the coolest beat in the world, and whatever, right? You step off, you come back a few minutes later and you hear it and you're like, fuck, man, this thing sounds so bad. I hope this sounds good, because I'm on a high right now and I feel this. I'm like, dude, this is completely different from what I do. That's why I wanted to go up to 100 beats per minute. Look, guys, we started at 100 beats per minute. And I stayed there. Usually my go-to method is like repetition, muscle memory. I go down to 70, I go down to 80, make my beat, sample, and call it a day. But right here, we actually brought in a sample. We went up a few beats per minute. We warped it. We brought in some bass from the keys, and we brought in some like synths from another plug-in instrument. This sounds awesome. I really like how this sounds. We have so many other chops to play with. right here, something like this, but these chops are so bad. I would have to go back and adjust these piece by piece. That's why I say, guys, look, take your time with this. You know, it's not a rush. I know we talk about, especially me, I'm guilty for this. I'm like, look how fast this is. Look how fast I can do this. Look how fast I can do that. Forget about all that stuff. And I apologize because it's not about speed. It's not about how fast I can do something. But take your time. You know, this is something that you want to fall in love with the process. Like right now, these chops are so bad. I don't want to rush it, and I don't want to be like, forget it. You know, I just didn't get the chops. No, I want to sit down. If it takes me 30 minutes, if it takes me an hour to adjust each individual pad, I will go ahead and do that, and I'll do it with pleasure because I love doing this. Yeah, yo, it sounds so good as I spit this heat, making a beat on the MPC3. Everything goes so good and heavenly, and now I want to go back and I don't know, I'm gonna just shut up and stop the video. All right, guys, look, thank you so much. I had so much fun, and thank you for hanging out with me. If you guys made it to the end and heard a little bit of my rapping skills, let me know down in the comments. I had so much fun. Thank you. I'll catch you guys on our next one. Thank you. Peace. All right. Stop all this. All right. Peace.